and welcome to my very first tutorial. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite things to do when applying makeup, and that is highlighting and contouring. Now, I do want to throw out there that not everybody is going to want to highlight and contour. You can take this as dramatic as you want to, or you can do kind of an everyday look with it, which is what I show you today. One of the benefits of highlighting and contouring is that it can make you appear a lot thinner in your face. Before we get started, I do want to talk a little bit about what highlighting and contouring is. Highlighting is essentially bringing all the features of your face that you kind of want to stand out. Whatever catches light is what you want to highlight. So we're going to do under the eyes, down the bridge of the nose, the chin, and the middle of the forehead. So when you contour, you are hiding certain features of your face, essentially. You're creating a shadow. So you contour areas like the sides of your forehead, underneath your cheekbones, underneath your chin, down the neck a little bit, and down your nose. One of the great things about highlighting and contouring is that it makes you kind of almost have a more 3D look to your face versus just a flat look across the board. It's something that can be worn every single day, and those of you that know me know I wear pretty much a full face of makeup every single day or nothing at all. It's makeup problems. You can go as deep with the contour as you want and as bright as the highlight as you want. It's up to you. That is the beauty of makeup, is it's an experiment. It washes off, you can try again. Another thing I show you in this video is how to conceal under eye circles. The cool thing about under eye circles is you can cover them up and conceal them and bring more light to this area of your face, which is ultimately the goal of what we're trying to do. I use several different products that I'm going to talk about, and I'll put added information in the description bar below this video. So if you've always wondered what highlighting and contouring is, just keep watching. Yikes! Kind of a scary look for me, but we're going to go ahead and start off with a salmon colored concealer here. Salmon colored concealer helps cancel out purple and blue under the eye, so we're going to very lightly dab this on with a finger, and we only want to put a very thin layer of this. Under this, I also have on a moisturizer that I kind of let dry before I started the concealing process. This helps the crepiness and dryness underneath the eyes kind of blend together easily and become more moisturized. So I'm just patting this in with my finger, nothing too hard here, until it's pretty blended. Now I'm going to pick up the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser for dark circles. This is one of my favorite drugstore concealers. My color is in Neutralizer because we are neutralizing the color under the eyes. And as you can see, I'm putting it in a triangle, an upside down triangle under each eye, down the bridge of my nose, in the center of my forehead, and on the tip of my chin, where we want to bring all the light out here. Kind of scary looking, but that's the point. Now we're going to pick up my favorite makeup applicator in the world. It is the Beauty Blender. This is an expensive sponge, but it is life-changing. It really helps melt the makeup together. It just does such a great job at blending everything together. You do want to wet your sponge under running water and rinse it out in a towel a couple times before using it. And you can purchase these at Sephora for about $20. And you can also get the cleaner, which helps them last a little bit longer. I just think they're absolutely worth the price because they do give that airbrush effect to the face, as you can see, and it's just such an easy tool to use. I also use this to put my foundation on as well, and it's such a staple in my everyday beauty routine. So we're just going to continue blending this all over the face, making sure everything is nice and even and there's no weird lines anywhere, and that salmon concealer is nicely covered up underneath. So you can see how much light this has brought to the face so far. Also, you want to make sure you're going back and forth as I'm showing you here, because this helps it not settle in the fine line and creases. So continue to go back and forth. Also remember that you are lightly patting this into the skin. You're not rubbing it or swiping it harshly to wipe off any of the concealer. Just use lots of light pats. Now we're going to go into a banana colored powder. This one is from Wet n Wild, and it's actually a very good one for it being from that brand. This is also another one I'm showing you here that is from Bare Minerals called Well Rested. But I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild one today with a brush and lightly place this underneath the eyes over the concealer to set the concealer and to make sure it's not settling in any of those fine lines. A banana color powder is also going to help bring light to the face and give even more coverage to those dark circles underneath the eyes as well. And this actually ended up being a great one. I was very impressed with how well this powder stayed all day and it didn't crease, and very good for the price. Okay, now we're going to get started with the contouring. I'm using Hoola bronzer from Benefit. This is a nice cool tone bronzer that is very popular for contouring. You do want to remember that you don't want to look muddy while you're contouring, so you do want a cool toned bronzer. You can also buy a regular powder from the drugstore that is a few shades lighter than your natural skin color. Just again, make sure it's a cool toned one, or one almost with a gray tint. And as you can see, I'm lightly brushing this in a 3 around my face. So I'm going to do underneath the cheeks, on the sides of the forehead, and underneath the jaw. So that makes a 3, as I'm showing you here, a slight 3 on the face. But again, you do want to make sure that it's very blended in. So use a light hand while you're applying the bronzer and kind of make that fish face defined underneath your cheekbones on where to go. Now we're going to contour the nose. I'm picking up a very small brush and I'm going to dip it into that bronzer, and we're going to line down the bridge of the nose. Now, the further in you go, the smaller your nose will look. So as you can see, I'm just tracing on the inside of the bridge of my nose here, and then you're going to see me blend it out because you do not want harsh lines on your nose. You really want to blend those lines in after you've placed them. And this helps create a more narrow nose, and it's something that's very popular to do nowadays, but you just don't want to go overboard. So blend, blend, blend with that. Now you're going to see me go in with blush. This is a part of my highlighting and contouring process as well because I blend them all together. As you can see, I'm putting the blush kind of from the center of my cheek to the back of where my ear is. This helps create the look of a more narrow face as well. I'm not really focusing a lot on the apples of my cheeks because I have very big cheekbones, so I don't want to accentuate those too much, but I do want a nice flush of color. This blush is by The Balm, and it is called Pinstripe, and it's one of my favorites. Now you're seeing me take a stippling brush to blend everything in all together. So this is very important because this gets rid of the harsh lines that happen with contouring and highlighting. This really helps everything look very smooth and even and not look like you've just drawn lines on your face. So this is a very important step not to skip. This is my favorite part, the highlighter. This is Champagne Pop by Becca Cosmetics and Jaclyn Hill. I'm just going to hit the tops of the cheekbones, and I'm also going to go over my eyes a tiny bit and on the other cheekbone, as well as the bridge of my nose. I love highlighting because the sun hits it and it's such a pretty glisten. Now we're going in with a Mario Badescu Rosewater Facial Spray, and what facial sprays do is they help the foundations and powders melt together for a very beautiful airbrush look. This particular face spray is very inexpensive. It's around $7 at Ulta, and it really just helps everything melt together for that smooth, flawless finish that we're going for. Well guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned a thing or two. Please let me know if you have any questions. I had a lot of fun making this video. It's one of my favorite things to do as far as makeup tricks go because you essentially can create a different look to your face. Thank you again so much for all the support on Facebook. All of the comments meant so much to me. I really appreciate all the support. I'll see y'all soon in another tutorial. I would like to point out the fake tan around my wrist. I love me some fake tan, but I never know how to do my hand.